There's a strange phase of life where nothing feels urgent anymore, but nothing feels fully settled either. You might still be working technically, or maybe you've stepped back to part-time, or you've retired but people still ask what you do and you hesitate for half a second before answering. Days stretch a little longer, mornings are quieter, and somewhere in that space, questions start drifting in, not loud questions, just persistent ones. Am I actually ready for this? What happens if things cost more than I expect? Why does retirement look peaceful for some people and oddly stressful for others? Those questions usually show up when you're not trying to plan anything at all. They show up while folding laundry, while driving past a hospital, while glancing at a bank statement you've looked at 100 times before. And the thing is, most people did what they were supposed to do. They worked for decades. They saved something. They paid off the house or got close. So why does it still feel fragile? I've spent a lot of time sitting with that exact discomfort. My name is Robert, and I think more than I probably should about money, aging, and that uneasy feeling people get when work stops being the anchor of their lives. Not panic, just a low hum of uncertainty that never quite shuts off. What I've learned is this: retirement doesn't usually fall apart because of one big, dramatic expense. It erodes slowly, quietly, through something far more ordinary, something that doesn't look dangerous at first glance. It's a monthly cost that doesn't have a clear label. It doesn't feel like health care. It doesn't feel like housing. It doesn't even feel optional until one day you realize it kind of is. For many seniors, it lands somewhere around $2,000 a month. Sometimes more, rarely less, and almost never planned for honestly. Not because people are careless, but because no one explains it in plain language. No one sits you down and says, "Hey, this part of retirement feels small at first, but it changes everything." This isn't a warning. It's not a scare tactic. It's a conversation, the kind you wish someone had started with you earlier. By the end of this, you're not going to feel pressured or rushed. If anything, you'll probably feel steadier, clearer, like you finally named something that's been quietly shaping your financial life all along. Let's talk about the expense most seniors forget to plan for, and why understanding it can change how retirement feels day to day. Here's the tricky thing. When people plan for retirement, they plan for categories: mortgage, utilities, groceries, travel, healthcare, nice neat boxes. But the expense I'm talking about doesn't sit politely in one box. It spills. It shows up a little in health care, a little in housing, a little in transportation, a little in miscellaneous, which is everyone's favorite way to avoid thinking too hard. It's what I call the cost of staying independent. Not luxury, not indulgence, just the cost of continuing to live life on your own terms. Think about it. You don't stop needing help just because you retire. You just start paying for it differently. At work, systems were built around you. HR handled paperwork. Your job structured your days. Your income absorbed inefficiencies. In retirement, you become the system. And systems cost money. A neighbor drives you to a doctor's appointment, you buy them lunch. You don't feel like cooking 3 nights a week, takeout sneaks in. Your knees hurt, you hire someone to mow the lawn. Paperwork piles up, you pay a tax preparer a little more each year. None of this feels dramatic. None of it feels like care. But when you add it all up, it's very often $1,500 to $2,500 a month. Quietly, relentlessly, forever. And here's the part nobody tells you. This expense increases as you age, even if your lifestyle doesn't. Now let's be clear, healthcare matters. Medicare helps, yes. Supplement plans help. Prescription coverage helps. But healthcare isn't just premiums and copays. It's logistics. It's time, energy, coordination. It's the cost of managing health, not just paying for it. Let me give you a real-world picture. Say you're 68. You're generally healthy. A few prescriptions. Some routine appointments. But suddenly, you need physical therapy twice a week. Your vision isn't what it used to be. Driving at night feels stressful. So what happens? Uber rides, parking fees, meal delivery because you're tired after appointments, extra out-of-network charges because the good specialist is across town. These aren't medical bills. They're life bills, and Medicare doesn't touch them. Over time, these add hundreds, then thousands, to your monthly spending. Not because something went wrong, but because you're still living. This is a hard one to talk about, but it matters. In your working years, help often feels free. Co-workers, spouses, friends, younger bodies, more energy. In retirement, help becomes transactional. Your kids live farther away. Friends deal with their own health. Your spouse may need help too. So you hire. A cleaner once a month becomes twice. Then weekly. Then maybe daily check-ins. Again, not nursing care. Just support. Laundry. Errands. Tech help. Yard work. Home repairs. Every little thing costs $50, $100, $200. And suddenly there it is. That $2,000. Most people say, my house is paid off, I'm good. But housing doesn't retire when you do. Maintenance increases. Accessibility changes. Property taxes rise. Insurance goes up. Utilities climb. And if you downsize, moving costs, HOA fees, a higher price per square foot, loss of storage, new services. Housing doesn't just cost money. It reshapes your monthly cash flow. Inflation doesn't hit evenly. Seniors spend more on healthcare, services, food, utilities, things that inflate faster. And unlike wages, your income doesn't rise to match. That $2,000 today, it's $2,800 in 10 years. Quiet math, loud consequences. Here's why people miss it. It doesn't arrive all at once. It doesn't feel like failure. It feels like convenience, relief, adaptation. Until one day you look at your checking account and think, why does this feel tighter than it should? Nothing's wrong. But something changed. This isn't about doom. It's about naming the expense. Call it independence spending, lifestyle support, aging in place buffer, whatever helps you acknowledge it. Then, track for 3 months. Add a cushion. Plan flexibility, not perfection. This isn't a line item. It's a phase of life. Paying for help can feel like a loss. But reframed, it's buying time, energy. Boys, you're not failing. You're adapting. And adaptation is strength. If there's one thing I hope stays with you, it's this. Retirement isn't ruined by big surprises. It's shaped by small, unplanned realities. That $2,000 monthly expense. It's not a mistake. It's not a flaw. It's the cost of continuing to live with dignity, choice, and breathing room. When you name it, plan for it, and stop pretending it doesn't exist, something interesting happens. The anxiety softens. The math becomes kinder. The future feels less like a threat and more like a landscape you can actually walk through. You've already done hard things. You've worked, saved, adapted, adjusted. This is just another adjustment. Not a scary one, just an honest one. And honestly, planning for this expense isn't about money. It's about protecting your calm. That's worth more than any spreadsheet. Take a breath. You're not behind. You're just seeing the full picture now.